Hey guys, what's up? And in this video, we will be comparing the game Wildwest and Westbound inside Roblox from the graphics to the gameplay. Take note that this video is divided into sections that are available in the description below, and feel free to skip to the section that you are interested in. Wait, sorry to interrupt, but before we get into the video, can you guys give me like a suggestion on what I should do for 1,000 subscribers special video? Should I do like a Q&A, setup reveal, or anything like that? You can just comment in the section below. Thank you. Alright guys, so starting our list off, we will be comparing the graphics between the two games. So first of all, we would like to compare the weapons and the guns in these two games. So the guns in Westbound looks better overall compared to Wildwest, because as you can see, Westbound is lean toward more realistic gameplay than Wildwest bloxy arcaded gameplay. This also comes with the gun. The gun in Westbound actually looks better and looks like real life compared to the bloxy gun of Wildwest. I'm not saying that the gun itself is bad, the physics is bad, but I'm just saying that the design in Westbound is better than the one in Wildwest. Alright guys, so next up, let's compare the horse between these two games. So horses in both games don't really look that good, it's Roblox after all. But if I had to choose one, I would like to pick the one from Wildwest. Don't get me wrong, the horses in Westbound also looks good, but the Wildwest have a better design. Let me explain that. So as you can see, the horses in Wildwest, it is blocky compared to the Westbound roundish horses. But here's the thing, the horses in Wildwest, you have a better texture overall compared to the horses in Westbound, because I feel like the horses in Westbound is made out of sand and their nose have these little lights that is, used to design for Christmas. The horses doesn't look that bad in Westbound, but compared to Wildwest, Wildwest looks better. Alright guys, let's move on to environmental texture. So for the environment, the winner would be Wildwest because it's more detailed and a lot of stuff is going on in the map inside Wildwest. From town to deserts, from mountain to swamps to forests, Wildwest have it all. I would like to point out that the map in Westbound is not that bad. Sure, there are deserts and town, but Wildwest feels more alive overall. The town between the two games also differ. There are more towns in Wildwest and more stuff going on in Wildwest, just more places. The places in Westbound is just a little bit too spread out and they lack in decorations and stuff that is going on inside the town. Okay, so let's move on to another topic, which is the color effects between these two games. From my experience, the Wildwest have more beautiful lighting and color overall than Westbound. The color in Westbound feels kinda dull and grayish compared to the Wildwest beautiful color and colorful overall. This might be because the game is made for both PC and mobile. Even on mobile it is smooth. But overall, Wildwest wins the color effects because the world just looks more attractive to their competitor Westbound. And I would like to point out that also the light in Wildwest looks way better than the lights in Westbound. Sure, different environment, different time, different sun ray effects. Overall, Wildwest looks better than Westbound. Alright guys, so let's move to the environment and map details. So first of all, let me define some differences between these two games. So the differences between Wildwest and Westbound is most likely the density and the feeling in the map overall. Both map is big and features some different biomes. Wildwest have more places and more town in general, ranging from the mountaintops to the Great Plains to the swamp and the river. Whereas Westbound map feel less crowded, everything is spaced away and out in the big map and open spaces, and there are only a few biomes available. Wildwest map feels more alive because of it, the amount of player in each server, which can take up to 30 players, and taking the facts that there's always something to do in each part of the map, so you are expecting at least 1 or 2 players in each part of the map, which is different from Westbound. Big spaces, not that much things to do, so players mostly just form a group inside each town or each places to mine. So this is different from Wildwest, and which make it feel less alive to the more competitive fun Wildwest. Okay guys, so let's move to things in map that we can do. So the actual map itself between the two games don't have much of a difference, although there are some differences to point out. So Westbound map is more like a open big world map where player can ride their horses and enjoy the environment at the same time running the game smoothly on nearly any PC and mobile. Wildwest on the other hand have a lot more details and animals and feel more alive overall than the Westbound map. In Wildwest, you can go to capture forts, go hunt, animals, go rob ships, rob banks and rob train and also mine. And the coolest thing is that you can actually hunt crocodile in Wildwest. So in Westbound, they also have similar activity like robbing banks, robbing trains, robbing cash register, pickpocketing people, and a whole bunch of other things, but they're lacking behind the robbing the ships and the hunting crocodile, which is very enjoyable and dramatic at the same time. And also capturing forts and making factions. Another thing worth pointing out is that since players in Wildwest are packed together, this makes it hard to rob bank and train overall, while Westbound is easy because players are miles away from you. So when you rob it, just take it easy and go on because no one's gonna come get you in time. Alright guys, so next thing I want to talk about is the weapon availability in both games. So Wildwest have more guns than Westbound do. So as you can see here in the menu, we have tons of gun compared to Westbound, a bunch of gun, and plus the menu in Westbound is not as organized as the one in Wildwest. I just want to point out that the design in Westbound actually looks better than the design in Wildwest. Although the gun sound, I will say Wildwest will win because the gun appear to be more powerful and louder compared to the weak sound of Westbound. I don't know about you guys, but let me just play the clip of the gun sound for you guys to choose which one is better. Alright guys, so let's move on to talk about the combats in both games. So combat in both games is not that good, but I feel like Wildwest combat feel more realistic and more fun because of the thing I mentioned earlier. The sound of the gun is more powerful and overall have a higher recoil and harder to control than those in Westbound, which is pretty easy to play and control. And this doesn't only apply to gun, but it also applies to lasso. So you see lasso combat in Westbound doesn't have a strong feeling to it, but in Wildwest you need to prepare the lasso and charge it. So you need to get the power, then you can capture people. And after you capture people in Wildwest, it is harder to get out of others people lasso than it is in Westbound. So in Westbound you just need to hold F, you're out of other people lasso, but in Wildwest you need to do some technique. One more I would like to point out is that the lasso in Westbound is just one click and the lasso will go, but the lasso in Wildwest, as I mentioned earlier, is harder to control. Okay guys, so this is the conclusion of the video. So overall, I will make an assumption that in some cases Wildwest is better, some cases Westbound is better, but mostly it is Wildwest who wins the game. But from my experience in these two games, Westbound has a better player base and people who played are better overall. What I mean by this is that there's no toxic player, although there is, but not that much as in Wildwest. And you guys can go to Wildwest if you love game with activities to do, and you guys can go to Westbound if you love exploring and the game with a non-toxic player base. I love these two games equally, so I can't judge which one is better for you guys, but you can comment below which one you love and why. Anyway guys, that's pretty much wrap up the entire video for today, and thank you so much for your support, and we are now have officially reached the 1k milestone subs, and I just feel so good because when I started this channel, not everyone knows this channel, and not even my friends know this channel exists, and now since we have 1,000 subs, I really thank you guys for all of this. But anyway guys, I really appreciate the support you guys gave me, and don't forget to like and share the video with your friend. As always, thank you and stay safe.